Hello, everyone. This is Elliot Serrano and Jose Melendez coming to you from Dreamland Comics in Schaumburg, Illinois. Thank you for joining us here on CCW TV, the Comic Culture Warrior video channel. Last few segments were kind of haphazard. Everyone was very grateful that I was posting videos 2 at a time. We honestly, we did that because that day when we recorded those last segments, we really weren't on our game. I don't think we were really on our game. But then upon review, we did have some pretty good discussions about things. So,
and plus, we didn't feel like reviewing books that week. So.
Yeah, I know. Did not feel like reviewing books, and it was just one of those.
Because comics suck. Have you guys noticed that lately?
They do. They certainly do. But we are going to jump back into reviews again and also have some discussion about things going on in comics and the comics industry. So, let's jump into a review because I know we had kind of a bad week. Like, I don't know why I'm setting myself up this. We're going to start off with something good. How's that? We're going to try to start with something good and end with something good with a whole lot of crap in the middle.
That's big shitburger.
Shitburger. Of course, when you talk about something good, you really do need to talk about Invincible Iron Man. Iron Man number 25, which kicks off the heroic age in the Marvel.
But the siege hasn't ended yet. How can the heroic age be going on?
What's
up with that?
I know. I don't get it either. The ironic part is that Salvador Larroca, who historically has been one of the slower artists, has really been maintaining a very consistent schedule and level of quality in his work. And on top of that, with this issue of 25, this is an oversized issue.
38 pages of art.
38 pages of art, which is pretty impressive. Mind you, when you look at the book itself, I mean, the art itself is a little spare.
Well, it's a lot of dialogue.
A lot of dialogue.
A lot of heads.
And is it me or is Tony Stark looking more like Josh Holloway on Lost? The more and more you look at him, I was like, huh?
How many times did I tell you don't watch that shitty show? So I have no idea what you're talking about.
I mean, it was looking like Robert Downey Jr. there for a while, but it's kind of changing. In any case, in Iron Man number 25, this kind of the old picking up. It's like another one of those new picking up places for new readers. If you haven't been reading Invincible Iron Man, you can pick up this book. A lot of themes in this book are very similar to what's gone on in the Iron Man movie. Very similar, and they've kind of co-opted a lot of the elements from the Iron Man film and incorporated them into here. So with the idea that folks who see the Iron Man movie might want to pick up the Iron Man book and hopefully boost sales for the book. But, I mean, history shows us that doesn't really happen, Movies rarely affect the sales of a book.
Right.
But anyway, back to the issue of the book itself. The book itself features the rise of the Hammer Corporation, that offshoot of the old Roxxon company. They're trying to. It's a plot line similar to Obadiah Stane plot line from the opening Invincible Iron Man story arc, The Five Nightmares. Mm-hmm. But what Matt Fraction is doing here is re-establishing the status quo for Tony Stark and kind of like how everybody feels about him as they surround him, and really how Tony Stark feels about himself. Because as was established in issue number 24, Tony did not back up his brain or his intellect right about the time, as is revealed here, when he first got the Extremis virus.
Right.
And after that, everything like Civil War and all the stuff that he did that really made Tony Stark a shit character, it's kind of been wiped out. And it's Tony.
It's very convenient for us who hated Tony Stark.
Oh yeah, yeah.
So it works out great.
And it's we said this was again Tony Stark Matt Fraction really having to rebuild the Tony Stark character back to something that everyone liked again. Mm-hmm. That being done here, for 38 pages, there's a lot, and I do mean a lot, of talkie talk. Bless you. A lot of talkie talk, introducing characters new and old, and some clever little moments. There's a bit where Tony Stark is in the process of designing his new armor, and he's talking to Reed Richards, because he knows Reed Richards is the one guy in the world to talk to. And Reed's giving him shit like, wait a minute. He asked the question that a lot of people would be asking. Hold on a second. You didn't back up your memory? I mean, you could have easily done it. He says you could have made it like a program that ran while you were asleep. So for those who are thinking...
I think Matt Fraction was channeling all the fanboy anger about it into Reed Richards' dialogue, and he's going to explain to you now why
it didn't happen, right? Yeah. And Tony Stark just comes out and says it. He goes, you know what? I screwed up. I didn't do it because I didn't think I need to have to do it.
Because he figured he was above all of that.
He was above all of that.
He would never fuck up so bad that he would need to do something like that.
He also confessed to a lack of imagination, and in many cases when bad things happen that could have been avoided, it's usually due to that, a lack of imagination. So beyond that, I mean, it's really hard not to talk in the vaguest of terms in this book because it really is a long character piece. Not a whole lot of action in it. In fact, very little to no action in it. But you get all the moments that you were kind of hoping that you would see. Tony Stark and Thor meet up again, and Thor has to deal with the new Tony Stark. So you see how they feel about each other. Also, I like how, you have that little moment where the two characters come together and have sort of a reconciliation. It's not a complete reconciliation, but sort of a reconciliation. And with Matt Fraction taking over the Thor book, you can tell that he's got plans for these two characters. Be nice to see more interrelation between them.
And they even released the free comic book day Iron Man Thor. One shot that was written by Matt Fraction.
Matt Fraction. So this, a really solid issue. I'm gonna get we're gonna get a little into spoiler territory here. I don't want to give away the one funny joke that runs through the whole book. Okay, so if you haven't read it yet, stop now. Because I do want to get into some more character bits, but it gives away some plot points, okay? So come back after you read it. All right, so Pepper Potts keeps telling everybody that Tony Stark is broke.
Yeah. I think she likes it. I think she finds it very humorous.
I know. It's like you can tell, especially when you have Rhodes and you have Pepper, who are the ones who are closest to Tony. And they really feel like they've gotten screwed. They really do feel like they've gotten screwed. But it's like they are kind of, but they still love Tony. And they want to keep going. And they want to support him. But they do all these little passive-aggressive things that are kind of fun. There's the discussion between Rhodes and Maria Hill. Maria Hill is like as happy as can be. She's like, like everything is finally going the right way for her, and
I think this makes allusions to her going to go work for the Secret Avengers.
The Secret Avengers, yeah.
That's where Rhodes is going to end up too.
Right.
So,
And Rhodes himself is not, he's not terribly pleased with how things have gone down over the last year or so. And they are also discussing the fact that Tony doesn't remember any of the shit that he did, and yet they all do. Yeah. So it's kind of like you're angry. You can be angry at someone for something that they did, but even if they said they were sorry, it wouldn't matter because they don't even remember doing it.
Yeah, because they, I don't know if it was Potts or if it was Maria Hill who was talking about how, they'll bring up something that Tony did that he doesn't remember, and they're angry about it, and he pretends
that he remembers.
Because he's been reading all the stuff that he did, and it's not really the same as, you feeling what you did as opposed to reading something telling you what you did.
Right.
So everything that he is just kind of false about, like his compassion towards them and how angry they are, because he can't really feel that.
He can't. It's. I just realized this is Matt Fraction like pulling a Regarding Henry, with Tony Stark.
Yeah, that's kind of true. Yeah.
Because that movie where Harrison Ford was an asshole
lawyer. Nobody saw.
Yeah. I saw it, but yeah, that's a J.J. Abrams script, by the way. He wrote that. Yeah. But Harrison Ford.
There weren't any polar bears in it, so I didn't think that.
So. Actually, there is one. There is a polar bear.
Oh, my bad.
At the end. You have to wait till the end of the credits. Rent Regarding Henry or get it on Netflix. Wait till the end of the credits. You'll see polar bears.
Is he going to tie Lawson with that movie somehow?
Somehow, yeah. The asshole lawyer gets shot in the head, loses a lot of his memories, and becomes like a great guy. Because the cumulative of all the accumulative of his experience is what you are, what makes up what you are, and that's really the idea that Matt Fraction is putting forward here. The cumulative of all the stuff that Tony Stark has been and a lot of the decisions that he's made brought him to where he is now. So it's like the old, you know what? We're going to literally wipe those pages clean. And go from there.
But he actually does say when he's talking to Reed Richards, he does say that I have read all the things that I did, and I can't take them back and I can't apologize. But you know what? I think that if I had to go through them all again, I would do everything the same. Yeah,
and this was really the one scene in the book when they got past all the techie nerd stuff that the two Brainiacs are going to talk about. This was the one scene that did ring a little hollow for me. Because remember, during the whole Civil War thing, J. Michael Straczynski was really putting Reed Richards through his paces. And Reed Richards was really going, in Fantastic Four, Reed Richards was having some real moral struggles with what he was doing and what was going on. So that for him to go, look at the guy who is essentially responsible for him making all those decisions. I mean, yes, I know.
No, I completely agree because both of these characters were shit during Civil War and after because they were written and they were equally as bad.
Equally as bad.
So for somebody, I can understand what you're saying because Richards is he was in the same boat.
And Jonathan Hickman's gone a long way towards fixing Reed Richards as well.
Which we have been talking about because, Hickman has been doing his thing with Reed Richards and Fraction has been taking care of Iron Man and both of them are finally getting the characters back to where they should be.
Yeah, I would have liked for Richards to have said, we fucked up.
Yeah, that would have been... I didn't really think about that, but that is a good point because, Reed Richards was at the same place where Tony Stark was when he did, before he backed up his memory. So he should sympathize a little bit more with what's going on. Yeah.
And maybe that'll come up later. Who knows? Maybe that'll come up. But in either case, by no means are we trying to say that this was a bad book. For what it was, especially for what it was, for a $3.99 book, 38 pages of art, even has some, has back matter.
But it's all design stuff.
It's really kind of cool design stuff.
And after 38 pages of art, I don't care what else is in there. They could not have put anything in there.
Yeah.
But see, here's the thing. How many people on the blog were like, so this book is $3.99, is there a bunch of bullshit in the back? That's the first question out of everyone's mind. It's $3.99. Is there bullshit in the back?
Yeah.
And it's and then I look through it and I'm like, wow, there's actually 30. And I really wonder because the last time this happened with Iron Man is when I dropped the book.
Right.
And I made a big to-do about I'm not buying it anymore because I felt screwed because it was 22 pages of art with 10 pages of wiki padding.
Right.
Where this is what every $3.99 book should be at Marvel. Right. This is what DC $3.99 books are like.
Right.
But actually, this is even more than what $3.99 books at DC are like. So I'm really wondering if Fraction had some kind of pull about it. I don't really like that. I really wonder if he's at the point now where he's writing a solid book where he can have some kind of say in the editorial about this book.
No.
You don't think so?
No. I think what's happening is that Marvel is hearing folks complain about this kind of thing, and they're actually listening. I've heard Bendis. Bendis has tweeted about this sort of thing too.
Yeah, did you hear what since the Avengers books that he's doing, they're $3.99. Did you hear what they're putting in the back to make them $3.99? They're putting Bendis text in the back, telling stories of untold stories of the Avengers history.
If it's fresh material, I can get that as long as it's not Yeah, I mean, even if it's prose. I mean, remember Warren Ellis did that with the Slimline books.
Yeah, Warren Ellis, though. It's Warren Ellis.
And also Matt Fraction did it too, in with Casanova.
But when it's referred to in the previews as Untold Avengers History, he's just giving him the chance to rewrite bullshit all over again without actually doing it in the comic.
I see what you're saying. No, I can see that. I would say I would probably reserve judgment until actually seeing it. As long as it's new material that's being created.
Yeah.
Not just reprinting old crap.
Right. Well, that's what I'm understanding is that it is new material, but
I'll give
at the same time, we'll see.
If it's new material and it's fresh material, who knows?
But did you try reading that dialogue in the back of the Siege, though?
Yeah, I know.
That's what it's going to be.
Yeah. Well, if it's like that, if it's like just basically reprinting a script, then I'd say no.
No, it's not reprinting a script. The stuff in the Siege was like the script of a comic book page without the actual art that was like filling in missing.
Right.
So yeah.
Yeah, well,
you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I know what you're saying.
Because that's going to be pretty unbearable.
Let's see how it turns out, and then we'll see. But
we'll have to wait for the Siege to end, though. It should have ended already. So.
Once
that happens,
I never bought any of the issues. I haven't bought any of the tie-ins. I haven't bought any of it. So
Thunderbolts is the best tie-in. That was actually an awesome story.
Yeah. Okay. So yeah,
better than the Siege. Thunderbolts Siege tie-in. Better than the Siege. So
let's end this segment on that. A positive review for Matt Fraction, as always, on Invincible Iron Man, with a couple qualifiers there, but still a quality book worth the cover price. And something that we recommend.
Highly.
When we come back, we get to the shit part.
Something that we won't recommend.
I won't recommend. The shit burger. We'll see you then.